next is the NASCAR Outstanding Intern Award, which goes to a student who has exhibited high performance and leadership skills in academics, as well as during their time in the NASCAR Diversity Internship Program. This awardee already has such an impressive resume. A member of the 2019 NASCAR Diversity Internship Program, he graduated from the University of Kentucky with a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering at just 19 years of age. He spent his summer with the NDIP intern in NASCAR Research and Development Center before being hired on a full-time as lead engineer at Rick Ware Racing. During his spare time in his first year at Rick Ware, Mono Ragman helped organize the George Floyd 100 iRacing event to help raise awareness within the motorsports community about the Black Lives Matter movement and raise money for the George Floyd Memorial Fund and the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. I got a chance to speak with Monon to hear more about his experience as an intern and his impact as a leader. Well, now with us receiving the Outstanding Intern Award, my buddy Monon Ragman. Monon, how you doing, my friend? How's everything in this difficult times for you?
Hi, thanks for having me, Omar. You know, it's crazy for everyone right now, but just making the best of it. And working on race cars is still always cool. We always say that a bad day at the racetrack is still a day at the racetrack. So can't complain too much yet.
My friend, I always say in Spanish, un día de pista es un buen día. A track day is a good day, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that for sure.
All right, man. So this is an outstanding award because jumping directly from an internship into a full-time is always the goal and dream of any recent college graduate. How did the NASCAR Diversity Internship Program prepare you for your current job, your current position at Rick Ware Racing?
Sure, yeah. Last summer, I worked at the NASCAR Research and Development Center through the NASCAR Diversity Intern Program. And what that really helped me with is kind of understanding a little bit more of the operations and a little bit more of the technical background that NASCAR has. You know, there's a lot of rules and regulations and a lot of operations that they do both at the track and at home to make sure that all the cars are safe, make sure no one's, you know, going out of bounds or cheating in certain ways and things like that. And just making sure that the racing product itself is great. So being able to get a little bit more familiar with all of those processes and operations and technology really helped me out a lot. But the biggest thing I would say that internship helped me with was really just meeting more people. NASCAR is a big, you know, it's a big networking sport. It's a big connection sport, and the whole garage is one big family, right? So being able to kind of meet people in NASCAR through teams, through the internship program, and just meeting other people working in the industry itself really helped me gain a lot of connections. It gave me a reason to be able to move out to Charlotte, North Carolina, where, you know, 90% of the teams are kind of held and all that. So really being able to build up that network helped me a lot. With Rick Ware Racing, since it's a small team, we have to do a lot more with a lot less. And so being able to get familiar early on, right after college, in addition to everything I did in college with our student teams, such as the Solar Car and Formula SAE teams, really helped me kind of put all of it together. And it's definitely prepared me a little bit more for this role than I expected to.
It is incredible that the amount of stuff that Rick Ware has been doing for diversity along his history in NASCAR. It's been very impressive. I remember Carlos Contreras driving for him back in the days. I mean, right. Your team has always been involved in diversity. And you've also already taken initiative as a leader in this industry so early on in your career. Talk to us about the idea and importance behind the George Floyd 100 iRacing event you helped organize this summer. This is an iRacing event to commemorate the George Floyd situation, right?
Right, yeah, and you know, a couple of months back when all of that happened, I think it really was a big wake-up call, not only for myself, but just a lot of people in the industry, right? Because, you know, sometimes we might get ahead of ourselves and not necessarily realize that how much racism is still present to this day. And sometimes it might not be as obvious to others as it can be. So when all of that happened, you know, we saw NASCAR kind of go through a little bit of a change. A lot of drivers started to stand up and things like that. But for myself, talking to other friends in the racing community and in the sim racing community, we wanted to figure out something in some way to really kind of help bring a little bit more awareness to these issues. A lot of us were frustrated, especially because a lot of us were at home at that time due to the COVID pandemic and just the guidelines we were having to follow. So it was like, okay, how do we channel this energy into something positive? How do we do something a little bit better? So I worked with Roger Carruth, who's actually one of the NASCAR Drive for Diversity drivers, and he and I got together. I know his background's really big in iRacing, and he could pull a little bit of talent from there. So we worked with him, figured out what we could do, and try to bring some stars into it a little bit more. And at the end of the day, we were able to raise funds not only for Floyd's personal funds, but also for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And we were able to pull funds across a few different people across the sim racing community. And that really helped us just, bring more awareness and give people an option and a way to really help support fights against racism and helping the overall civil rights movement that we're kind of seeing right now in 2020.
At a personal level, Monon, what's the meaning to you? I mean, you come from a diverse background. You making yourself climbing up the ladder in NASCAR. In a personal level, what does it mean to you to be able to contribute in this form?
Sure. To be honest, after college, the first thing anyone going into the sport will say this, but the first thing you want to be remembered as is as a racer, right? You want to make sure that what you're doing on a technical level, what you're doing on the track, all your stats, that's what people remember you for. But thinking about it more and more as I've been in it, it definitely is important to showcase diversity a little bit more and really show that anyone from any background or any barrier that they might have had in the past, they can break that and make it into the sport. And so being able to see the movements we've seen this year and seeing NASCAR take a little bit stronger direction when it comes to diversity and taking racism seriously, I think has really helped kind of strengthen that. It's definitely gave me more motivation to do better every day, whether it's being an engineer or, just being a part of the garage itself, and just making sure I'm showing up every day and doing the best I can. So it's definitely, a tough time to be a part of, just with how stressful kind of everything's going on right now. But hopefully in the few years, I'm able to last in the sport and last in the industry and can see those improvements and see what the future holds for NASCAR and the industry as a whole.
Monon, thank you for your time, my friend. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce you, your Outstanding Intern Award recipient, Monon Rockman.
Thank you.